Hi there, so in this tutorial we're just going to fix up the corners so we can actually get them to fit around everything without there being any sort of interference. So if I'll just sort of demonstrate this point, if we attach these corners here and here, sorry, wrong one, and here, and then place lava where it would be. If I just take a couple of these, okay. If we to put our side one here as well, obviously that would go there, but we still have this really awkward gap when we try to connect our pieces in. Okay, so we need essentially a piece for this side and a piece for this side here. Okay, obviously this will be the same for the water as well, but hopefully once we've done this, it will alleviate that problem by getting these two side pieces in, and we will probably be able to attach them directly to these corners and actually have them as a sort of singular corner sprite that will fit in to allow us to go through and actually embed those in properly. Okay, so again, so then if we go and put this in, that would still be fine. Yeah, wicked. Okay, so a little problem, but sorry I didn't spot this sooner, but now we can go to alleviate that problem. So I'm just going to undo all this quickly. Hopefully I have enough undos. There we go. So what we need to do is bring our sort of corner piece in, and we know we need to fill in here and fill in down here. I'm just going to go and hide everything that we're not going to be using for this. I'm just going to hide these as well, except for the one we're using, and we're just going to bring out our tile, and we're going to assume that this is going to be here. We'll create another one for reference that will go here, and again another one that will go here, and essentially we want to build all three of these in to sort of fit. So on our corner piece, which is here, I've made a new folder with open corners in. I'm going to call this top left. I'm going to then let's get our colour picker, and we're just going to paint these areas in, and we'll make our brush picker, and we'll select the neutral orange that we were using previously. Okay, we'll just sort of, if we run sort of border, we'll be able to just paint inside quite easily. Okay, then we can just go a little bit crazy with it, and we'll do the same with this side. So cool, now we have that sort of in. What we're going to do is select the main colour of our lava, and what we're going to do is paint these in. Okay, and what we're going to do is just sort of go like this. And what we should have, hopefully, is a really sort of nice linking piece going through. Again, try and get these to sort of cross over at some point, because it alleviates that sort of offsetting. We know where we can see that actually we've just connected these things up quite easily. And yeah, once we're sort of in, we can start to paint that red around again, sort of sticking true to the lava quality. And obviously we need to get some additional sides for this, just to ensure that everything matches up. Once we've got this corner, so basically these two ends will probably have to be sort of threaded into each other so we can create a single piece here. Again, it's a little bit more work, but the idea is that at the end all of these parts will match up. We can have it seamless, we can have endless edges of lava, sorry, not mountain. And we'll see how it goes. We'll see if any more problems arise. I'm hoping that this solves it. But again, just go through and paint through. And you know, the more modular this is, I mean, if we weren't doing modular assets, you would have to paint every single thing individually, and that's time consuming and is it's going to be more effort later on further into the production. You know, when you want to sort of save time on your assets, you don't want to be wasting time creating every single individual piece. Obviously, if you want to do that in your production, you're more than entitled to, but this is just one way, especially in like an RPG style game, to remember to keep dabbing down, because otherwise if you intend to undo a lot. And again, just sort of fill these bits in. And hopefully this will mean that our piece will be again very modular. So in fact what we might have to do is take both just line up these two ends, just so we can actually treat these as individual assets as well. But we'll see how it goes. Just to get these open corners, obviously it's added a lot more work for what we want to do, but you know, that's part of the joy. What we're going to do is just turn that down. Where was I just painting? Yeah. So I just want to make sure that we're painting on the right parts. So I'm just going to turn the opacity down slightly on these. Now that we're starting to build up that detail, because the parts get lost on each other. Just fill in these yellow parts. And then we can just add some white bits in. Okay, and yeah, cool. So we have this part here which we will need to bring down if we're then going to make this part modular as well. So it links up, just make sure it's running on the right line, so it's going down, yep. Cool, so that one's going down there. I think that's the only piece connecting off apart from this yellow here, which we can build in. Okay. Cool, and then from this side I've kept that quite clean, so it's just a case of finding where this is. So we've got a line coming across here where we can connect that up, and one right down here. Cool, and so now with some hope, with some luck, what we should have is a nice corner piece. Cool, and this should be 32 by 32, and actually it might be 60, you might have to do a full 64 by 64. Let's just take a look. So that's 32 by 32, yeah. So additional 16 is 48. 48. Oh, 48 centimeters. There's that issue again. Remember to keep it as px. Control Shift and C. So let's copy that in. Let's bring this in here. That fits perfectly. Apart from there's a little bit there, but we can. And then what we just want to make sure is that these bits fit in. Yep. Yep. Then we just want to make some more copies of these, just to ensure that they fit around the side. There we go. Because obviously what we're going to have now is that same gap occurring, but what we need to do is take a reference shot of sorry, I've just got an itch on my leg. There we go. Once we take this, once we want, Control Shift X. Oh, Control. Just go Control Shift C. Oh, Control V. Now what I'm hoping is that this will sit very nicely. There we go. Yeah, cool. Okay, so we've created a few more assets now, but that allows that to fit together really nicely, really seamlessly, and means that what we can do is just get rid of these bits. That's the copy. That's a copy. That's a copy. Where's the normal one? Right at the bottom, typical. So we'll put that in there, and we will move this one here. What we will do is actually, because we're going to have to create both of these twice over, and actually it lines up really well with that. what do you know? So with these pieces here we can move, put this back, and we'll put this back over here. You can just keep them for later reference, and obviously now we just need to create our versions of these, and what we'll probably do is have them run like this, and we can stick the side asset here, and we can stick the long one in the middle here. So what we'll do again is just get our selector and Control Shift C, Control V, and we can just pull that in here, just so it's obvious where it is. And now we just need to go through and create them for the remainder of the corners. Okay, go through that, and hopefully you'll get them done and finished, and I'll sort of drift all along here, and I will see you in the next tutorial where we will be focusing on grass. Okay, don't forget to save your work, and I'll see you there.